When a woman tells you about her problems, just do this. Life is a journey filled with trials, challenges, and moments of vulnerability. In these moments, when a woman opens her heart and shares her struggles, she is not just seeking solutions, but understanding, compassion, and support. How we respond can either strengthen or weaken the connection. This speech is not just about how to listen, but about how to truly be present, emotionally and spiritually. It's about offering a safe space where empathy, patience, and respect can flourish. Join me on this journey of learning how to offer the most powerful gift, genuine care, when she opens up. Stay with me till the end. Number 1. Listen without judgment. When a woman shares her problems with you, the first step is to listen without judgment. This means offering her the space to express herself fully, without your personal biases or assumptions coloring her words. In today's fast-paced world, people are often quick to react, interjecting with solutions or advice before fully understanding the issue at hand. Listen. However, true listening involves being fully present and actively engaging with what she is saying, not simply waiting for your turn to speak. Listening without judgment requires you to be mindful of your own thoughts and reactions. It is easy to fall into the trap of trying to categorize her feelings or concerns based on your past experiences. But each situation is unique. By listening without jumping to conclusions, you create an environment where she feels heard and respected. This means refraining from labeling her emotions as irrational or overreacting, and instead embracing the understanding that her feelings are her reality in that moment. To truly listen is to approach the conversation with an open mind and heart. It involves focusing on her words, the tone of her voice, and her body language, as these elements together convey much more than just the words themselves. Avoid distractions such as checking your phone or letting your mind wander, as they can send the message that you're not fully engaged. Your undivided attention shows that you value her enough to prioritize her feelings over anything else at that moment. Listening without judgment is an act of respect. It signals that you trust her enough to speak her mind freely, without fear of reproach or dismissal. When judgment is absent, the conversation becomes a safe space, allowing her to explore her feelings, express vulnerability, and even change her perspective, without the pressure of being immediately fixed or corrected. Historian Claire Maxwell. It's essential to understand that your role is not to provide solutions right away, but to offer a compassionate presence. Often, when a woman shares her troubles, she's not asking for answers, she's asking for acknowledgement. The simple act of listening attentively can be a powerful form of support that lays the foundation for deeper understanding and connection. And Number 2, empathy is key. When a woman opens up about her problems, showing empathy is one of the most powerful ways you can support her. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person, to step into their shoes and experience their emotional state from their perspective. It's not just about recognizing the words she speaks, but about feeling the emotions behind them and responding in a way that acknowledges her experience. Empathy goes beyond sympathy, which might simply involve feeling pity or sorrow for someone's difficulties. Instead, empathy requires a deeper level of connection. When you empathize with someone, you make the effort to grasp the full scope of their feelings, their struggles, and their emotional responses. You take the time to listen and validate their emotions, not by minimizing them or offering quick fixes, but by accepting them as part of the shared human experience. Empathetic listening requires you to be emotionally available, not just intellectually present. It involves tuning in to the emotional undercurrents in the conversation and being attuned to the nuances of her voice, body language, and even silences. By doing so, you allow her to express herself without fear of judgment or dismissal, knowing that her emotions are accepted in their full complexity. Empathy involves more than simply agreeing with everything she says. It's about understanding the deeper layers of her feelings. For instance, if she expresses frustration about a situation, it's important to reflect on the source of that frustration. Is it a sense of powerlessness, a lack of support, or the feeling of being misunderstood? Rather than offering immediate advice or trying to take away her pain, empathy helps you sit with her discomfort and share in the emotional weight of the situation. When you respond with empathy, you create a sense of emotional safety. She doesn't feel isolated in her struggles or as though her problems are burdensome. Instead, she feels understood and supported, knowing that someone truly gets what she's going through. Empathy is the bridge between emotional distance and emotional connection. It allows you to relate to her experience as a fellow human being, rather than simply as an outsider looking in. Number 3. Accept emotions. When a woman expresses her problems, it's important to accept her emotions as they are, without judgment or dismissal. Emotions are an intrinsic part of the human experience, and trying to suppress or deny them only leads to internal conflict and greater distress. Accepting emotions means recognizing that feelings, whether positive or negative, are not to be feared or avoided, but to be acknowledged as natural responses to life's challenges. Every emotion, whether it's sadness, anger, frustration, or joy, has its own purpose and significance. These feelings arise as a response to experiences, thoughts, and perceptions. When a woman shares her emotions with you, it's crucial to understand that these feelings are valid, regardless of whether or not they align with your own perspective. By accepting her emotions, you affirm that her feelings matter and that she is entitled to feel the way she does, even if you don't fully understand or agree with her experience. To truly accept emotions means to avoid the temptation to fix them immediately. Often, when someone is upset, the instinct is to try to calm them down or offer solutions that might make them feel better. However, this approach can inadvertently invalidate the emotions at hand. Instead, by accepting emotions, you allow the person to process their feelings at their own pace. You acknowledge that their emotions are part of their personal journey and that they do not need to be corrected or erased in order for them to be understood or appreciated. Acceptance also involves recognizing that emotions aren't always rational or logical. They may seem disproportionate to the situation at hand, but that does not make them any less real. In these moments, your role is not to analyze or judge the emotional reaction, but to honor it as an authentic part of her experience. By doing so, you create an atmosphere where she can express herself freely without the fear of being belittled or misunderstood. Accepting emotions promotes emotional resilience. When emotions are accepted, they lose their power to control and overwhelm. Instead of suppressing or battling emotions, acceptance allows for a healthier, more productive response. It fosters an environment where both parties can engage openly and honestly, without the pressure of emotional judgment or denial. We tend to retreat into ourselves when we attempt to deal with the discomfort of emotions. Number 4. Focus on what you can control. When a woman shares her problems, it is essential to focus on what you can control in the situation, rather than getting overwhelmed by the aspects beyond your influence. Life presents many challenges that are outside our ability to change, whether it's other people's actions, circumstances beyond our control, or past events. When someone is expressing their troubles, it is easy to fall into the trap of trying to solve everything or fix what is wrong. However, a more effective and stoic approach is to concentrate on what you can actively influence. This means listening with the intention of offering support in ways that align with your abilities, rather than futilely attempting to control aspects that are out of your hands. For instance, if the problem involves external circumstances, such as a difficult work situation or an ongoing conflict with someone else, you cannot directly change those circumstances. However, you can control your reactions, your perspective, and your approach to the situation by focusing on how you can be supportive, whether through offering a listening ear, providing encouragement, or helping her see things from a different perspective. You empower her without overstepping your bounds or placing unnecessary pressure on yourself to change things that are simply not within reach. Providing encouragement or helping her see things from a different perspective, you empower her without overstepping your bounds or placing unnecessary pressure on yourself to change things that are simply not within reach. This principle also applies to emotions. While you cannot dictate how someone feels or force them to change their emotional state, you can control how you respond to those emotions. Choosing to remain calm, patient, and empathetic in the face of another person's distress can have a profound effect on the overall conversation. It sets a tone of understanding, allowing the woman to feel safe and supported without the added stress of trying to make everything perfect. The second is to form connections intentionally and acknowledge that this is messy and that everyone contributes to the messiness. Focusing on what you can control promotes healthier boundaries in relationships. It encourages you to acknowledge your limits, allowing you to offer what you have to give without feeling overburdened or responsible for things that are beyond your capacity. By embracing this approach, you contribute positively to the relationship without the emotional space needed for both parties, and you provide the emotional space needed for both parties to navigate the challenges together. Take time to coping skills. Like any other individual skill you need, making time for yourself is the key to maintaining competence. Number 5. Avoid unsolicited advice. One of the most common instincts when someone shares their problems is to offer advice, often without being asked. While the intention may be to help or provide a solution, unsolicited advice can often be counterproductive and even damaging to the relationship. When a woman expresses her challenges, it's essential to recognize that sometimes what she needs most is not a solution, but someone to listen and acknowledge her feelings. Unsolicited advice can unintentionally signal that you believe she isn't capable of figuring things out on her own, or that her current emotional state is a problem that needs to be fixed. This can be particularly frustrating for the person sharing their troubles, as it can feel dismissive of their autonomy and emotional experience. Instead of empowering her to explore her thoughts and feelings, giving unsolicited advice can create the impression that she's being judged or that her concerns aren't being taken seriously. It's important to remember that when people speak about their difficulties, they often seek validation, understanding, and emotional support, not immediate solutions. By offering advice without being asked, you might inadvertently shut down the conversation or put her on the defensive. This can lead to her feeling unheard or as if her struggles are being minimized. In many situations, advice can also come across as simplistic or out of touch with her reality. You may offer solutions based on your own perspective, but these may not align with her needs or desires. She may not be looking for a quick fix, but rather a space to reflect on her situation, express her frustrations, and feel understood. The advice you provide may not fit the unique context of her circumstances, which can cause further frustration or confusion. It's more beneficial to pause and ask yourself whether advice is truly necessary. Instead of jumping into problem-solving mode, focus on active listening and empathizing with her feelings. If and when she seeks guidance or asks for advice, you can then offer it. keeping it relevant and respectful of her emotional state. By avoiding unsolicited advice, you honor her agency and allow the conversation to unfold in a way that is rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Number 6. Give her space to express herself. When a woman shares her problems with you, it's crucial to give her the space to express herself freely. This means allowing her the time to speak without rushing her, interrupting her, or steering the conversation toward your own thoughts. In doing so, you create an environment where she feels comfortable being vulnerable, open, and honest. Giving someone the space to express their emotions and concerns is a fundamental aspect of fostering trust and emotional safety. One of the greatest gifts you can offer in these moments is your patience. Often, when someone is facing a difficult situation, their emotions can be complex and multifaceted. It's not always easy for them to articulate everything they're feeling. By providing space, you show that you are willing to let them take the time they need. This process can be therapeutic for them, allowing for a deeper understanding of their own emotions, which might not have been fully formed or recognized at the start of the conversation. By giving her space to talk, you signal that her thoughts and feelings are valued. Too often, conversations are dominated by the need to offer solutions or quick responses, which can inadvertently silence the other person's voice. In contrast, allowing her to speak freely without interruption fosters a sense of equality in the conversation. She's not being talked over or fixed, she's being heard, which in itself can be incredibly validating. This space also allows for greater emotional release. When someone holds back their feelings for fear of being judged or cut off, it can lead to frustration or resentment. If she doesn't feel pressured to hurry through her thoughts, she can explore her emotions more deeply and express herself more authentically. Sometimes, simply articulating what's on her mind can bring clarity or a sense of relief. Physical space and emotional space are equally important. This means refraining from making assumptions or judgments as she shares her experience. Avoid jumping to conclusions or offering advice right away. Instead, provide her with the emotional room to explore the complexities of her emotions. By doing so, you ensure that she feels supported, not rushed, and you contribute to a more meaningful and compassionate conversation. Number 7. Offer support, not solutions. When a woman opens up about her problems, your instinct may be to offer solutions, thinking that providing advice or fixes will help resolve the situation. However, in many cases, what she truly needs is not immediate solutions, but emotional support and reassurance. Offering support means acknowledging her feelings, validating her experience, and letting her know you are there for her, rather than focusing on fixing the issue at hand. In many situations, a person does not want their problems to be fixed right away. Sometimes the emotional weight of the situation is too complex to be solved with a simple solution. Instead, she may just want someone who can listen and stand by her side. Offering solutions too quickly can inadvertently make her feel that her feelings are not valid or that you don't truly understand the depth of her struggles. Support can come in many forms. It could be as simple as offering a comforting word or just being present with her during difficult moments. Let her know that you are there for her, not because you want to solve things, but because you care about her well-being. Reassure her that it's okay to feel what she's feeling and that she's not alone in her struggles. Emotional support comes in the form of encouragement or helping her see her own strengths. You might remind her of how she has faced challenges in the past, or simply express confidence that she will find her way through the difficulty. Offering emotional support, rather than trying to fix the problem, can empower her to process her emotions and gain clarity on how to move forward. Number 8. Stay calm and composed. When a woman shares her problems, it's essential to remain calm and composed throughout the conversation. Emotional situations can sometimes bring out strong reactions, but maintaining a steady and calm demeanor can create an environment of stability, making it easier for her to express herself without feeling overwhelmed or rushed. Staying calm doesn't mean suppressing your own emotions or becoming detached. Instead, it means managing your emotional responses in a way that shows emotional intelligence and control. When you stay composed, you communicate that you are a reliable presence who can handle the situation without becoming reactive or adding to the emotional intensity. This allows her to focus on her own feelings without worrying about how your reactions may affect the conversation. Remaining calm also shows respect for her emotions. When we are calm, we signal that her feelings are valid and worth taking the time to understand. In contrast, an anxious, defensive, or overly emotional reaction may make her feel that her concerns are too much to handle or that she should downplay her feelings. By staying composed, you create a safe space where she can express herself without fear of being judged or criticized for her emotional state. Your composure can serve as a source of reassurance. When emotions are high, a calm demeanor can help de-escalate the situation and help both of you navigate the conversation with clarity. It provides a sense of balance, allowing the conversation to remain constructive and empathetic. Number 9. Honor her autonomy. When a woman shares her problems with you, it is important to honor her autonomy, respecting her ability to make decisions, solve problems, and navigate her emotions on her own terms. While offering support is valuable, it's equally crucial to acknowledge that she is the expert of her own life and experiences. Her autonomy is rooted in her unique perspective, and by respecting this, you empower her to take ownership of her challenges and solutions. Honoring her autonomy means refraining from imposing your own solutions or judgments on her. While you may have ideas or advice, it's important to offer them only when she asks for them. Avoid the impulse to fix the situation, as doing so can undermine her sense of control and independence. Instead, create space for her to express her thoughts and ideas, even if they are different from yours. Supporting her autonomy also involves validating her choices and recognizing that she may have different coping mechanisms or ways of handling the issue than you would. Each person has their own strengths, strategies, and ways of navigating life's difficulties. Respecting her autonomy means trusting that she is capable of making decisions that align with her values, even if you don't always understand or agree with them. By honoring her autonomy, you reinforce her confidence in her own abilities and provide her with the emotional space to grow and learn from her experiences. You show that you respect her individuality and that your support is not about control or dominance, but about standing beside her as she navigates her journey. This kind of respect builds a foundation of trust and mutual respect, allowing for a healthier, more balanced relationship. Number 10. Offer reassurance, not control. When a woman shares her problems, offering reassurance is far more valuable than attempting to take control of the situation. While it may be tempting to step in and dictate what should be done, it's essential to recognize that what she needs most is emotional support, not an external force attempting to steer her decisions. Offering reassurance helps her feel understood, validated, and confident in her ability to handle her challenges. Reassurance means providing her with the comfort that her feelings are normal, that it's okay to be uncertain, and that it's okay to feel vulnerable. It can be as simple as saying, "You're not alone," or "I believe in you," which helps to affirm that you trust her judgment, and that she has the strength to overcome whatever difficulties she's facing. These statements act as emotional anchors, reminding her that she can navigate the situation in her own way. In contrast, attempting to control the situation can diminish her sense of agency and self-worth. When you try to take charge by offering unsolicited solutions or telling her exactly how to approach things. It implies that you don't trust her to make her own decisions. This can make her feel disempowered, or like her thoughts and feelings aren't sufficient on their own. Control can also lead to frustration, as it may not align with how she wants to address her situation. By offering reassurance, you help her build the confidence to tackle her problems on her terms. Reassurance fosters a supportive environment where she feels valued, capable, and empowered, which is far more effective in the long term than any attempt to control the situation. It shows her that she has the autonomy to work through her challenges with your support, not your direction. When a woman shares her problems, the best way to support her is by practicing patience, understanding, and respect. Listen actively, honor her autonomy, and offer reassurance without trying to control the situation. Stay calm, give her space to express herself, and create a safe environment where she feels heard. By offering emotional support instead of solutions, and allowing her to navigate her challenges in her own way, you contribute to a healthier, more balanced relationship built on trust and mutual respect. Good luck, and thank you for taking the time to embrace these principles of empathy and support.